I'm out in my garden. It's a right mess at the moment. It's a pickle. I'm in a bit of a state, to be honest with you, because I'm just trying to optimise my antennas for the HF bands, and then at the moment I'm just experimenting with a lashed up quarter wave vertical, but I'm mounting it on this lovely old Clark mast. This is a lovely mast. I think it's about a 40-foot mast, but it's not. It's just temporary at the moment. Everything's temporary just until I have run a few tests, and then I'll make it a bit better. But I'm bringing in for a closer look so you can see what I'm doing. Forgive the mess, it is a bit of a mess at the moment. You can see all the wires I've been messing around with in the garden. Look, all the wires. So this is the mast here, and this is the feed point of the aerial. So it's a dipole centre basically, and the red wire is a quarter wave vertical. It goes all the way up the mast to the top there. Quarter wave resonant. I've checked and tuned it on using the VNA, and then the two wires here. This one goes all the way over there. That's a tuned radial for 20 meters, and I've got another one here. These are actually the centres of electric 2.5mm twin and earth basically. So strip out. You can see there's the carcass of the 2.5mm twin and earth there. I stripped all the wire out, and so one element, the red wire, live wire is the element, the driven element. The black wire is one tuned radial, and the bare wire there, the earth wire, is another tuned radial. And I'm going to lift the mast up now to a bit of height and keep it off the ground to reduce those ground losses. It's a lovely old mast, this. Clark. It's a military mast. Easy to use. So that's one section up. I'm only going to put two sections. I can't put any more up at the moment because I haven't got a long enough length of coax. So that's the two sections up. So I've got to get this radial spread out somewhere nice, and then we'll be good to go. As I say, it's just a temporary setup at the moment. The reason why I'm trying to improve the performance on the HF bands is I've got a contest for the club I'm in the next couple of weeks. I've got to try and get the antennas a bit more up together. Whilst we're out in the garden, I'll show you another antenna that I've got on the go I'm experimenting with. It's fed with this 450 ohm ladder line. It goes up to the feed point out there. Now from the feed point to the top of that pole, that's a quarter of a wavelength on 20 meters. And this, what you're looking at, is a delta loop, a full size delta loop for 20 meters. So it comes down here to this corner here, and it goes across to there, and then I don't think you can see the wire, but it goes up there to the top of the mast again. And that's a delta loop for 20. I'm not really too impressed with it. It's down on receive and down on transmission compared to the doublet. Look at the wires. So the doublet is on the chimney, that supports the doublet, and it comes down to there, and then the other side of the house, and that's fed with 300 ohm. So doublet's fed with 300 ohm balance line. Anyway, let's go in and check out this new antenna, see how it performs. So we're in the shack now, and something I made recently for the rig to sit on. I made this little plinth, and it's lovely because it means that all the wires are kept neat and tidy at the back of the radio. You know, you can't see that, it's nice and neat and tidy. I got a little parking place for the keys to go, so they will go under there like that. But doesn't that look nice and neat? That's I call that the Morse key garage under there. And I was given this key by a good friend John, G0 GW4SRE. He gave me that key, and that's a lovely Vibraplex twin paddle key. I like Vibraplex keys. My favourite of all time is the bug key there. And then I've got to admit that out of all my paddles, my favourite paddle is the Schoenmann Dirigent, which is this key here, which we're going to use in a minute. There. They're not far short of £500 for that key now. Lovely key. Anyway, something else I've changed. I've gone back to using my lovely idiom press key. Yeah, it means that I can have this controlling the paddle. It's the keyer for the rig rather than the inbuilt keyer in the rig, because if you want good clean code, you get it much better from an external keyer. The circuitry inside the rig, it's doing other things, and keying is far down on its list of priorities. But whereas this is dedicated to this keying, so it just reads the input from the paddle, and much better way really to send Morse. Right, let's put out a CQ and see if we can raise anybody. Okay, so I'm on the reverse beacon network, which I always go to check when my signals are going. I can see I've got a good splash of RF all going over into Europe, one going over to Asiatic Russia, nothing going across the pond to the United States at the moment. But I've been heard by about 40 skimming stations have picked up my call. You can see the frequency here, the distance in miles, the speed of I was sending 25-26 words per minute, and the time that the signal was sent there. But this is the important thing: the signal to noise ratio. So anything sort of like 10 dB and above is a hearable signal, really. But I mean, that 1 dB is ridiculous. That's a very low signal. 14 dB is not too bad, but we go down there, all sort of quite down really. 10, lots of 10, 20 dB just there. 24, 33 dB, 26 dB, so 30 dB. That's into Germany. So yeah, I think band conditions a bit flat, to be honest with you, at the moment. That's not the antenna, that's just band conditions at the moment. So anyway, it's that configuration will be up for a little while now. I want to make it so that I can lower the antenna, pull that pull the ground planes off and the radiating element off, and then I can make up another element for 15 meters and 10 meters and so on. And it's very simple to do, very easy to do. Literally, I can take the antenna down and pack it away in 5 minutes flat. And so, drop the mast, pull the radiating element off, put up the next antenna. They're all monoband antennas. I could make it so that I have crop clips and join the elevated radials together and then join the radiation element together, but it's just more faff. You've got all them solder connections, you've got more things to go wrong, whether to get in, etc. As it is at the moment with those simple wires, they're solid wires. They're more or less impervious to anything happening to them, really. So yeah, I think what I'll do, I'll probably make a 15 meter vertical, take this one down, fold it all up, put the 15 meter one up in its place, and then that's how I'm going to be band changing on that vertical going forward. With the doublet, because it's tuned and fed with 450 ohm ladder line, that can I can change bands in the shack and just turn the ATU dials and just dial that in. and match the impedances with that. But with the vertical, it's coaxial fed RG213, which is low loss coax, and not a huge run of it either, so I'm getting a lot of RF into the aerial. So it's just now waiting for the conditions to pick up really, and then we should have some DX in the logbook. So what I'm doing here at the moment, on this key on top here, I've got buttons, and I've programmed the buttons for different messages. So this is my speed, that changes the speed of the Morse, and that push the button and it'll start sending CQ. Right, well I just had a quick, very quick contact with II3WWA. So that's a worldwide award. There's a big sort of contest thing going on. It's not really a contest. You can work these stations, and then they you get points, and then the more points you get, the more you get an award for it. You know, so this is their QRZ page here, and then you put in your call sign here. In my case G0VQW, QSO search, and then it tells you when you scroll down here, you see all the different stations that have got the WWA or that are taking part. And interestingly, I worked 8A1A. Now that means nothing to a lot of you unless you're a radio amateur, but 8A1A is Indonesia. So if I put in 8A1A, there it tells you where they are. Worldwide award, and this person was in Jakarta. So that was a good long haul. That was last night I worked that. But anyway, just now you just heard me work II3WWA. So again, we put the call sign back in again. And then I should be able to scroll down, find his call sign along here somewhere. II3WW, there we are there, and scroll along here, and I've worked him on 17 metres, 20 metres and 40 metres. So I'm looking for him on other bands as well, but these are all the logs all the contacts I've had with the worldwide award so far. So I've had a few. I'm not chasing it, to be honest with you. I'm just scrolling down the bands, and if I hear one, I just give them a quick call. So I've worked 48. I'm on the 480 award, so you get 10 points for each contact. And I'm only using CW, of course, and that's why it only says one mode. But I've worked them on 8 bands so far. And in the listings, I'm 7,166 on the rankings. So there's a lot of people ahead of me on that, but I'm not really chasing it. It's just a bit of fun. I've not really run for the 599 TUs, to be honest with you. It's meaningless. In the good old days, we had signal report, RST. So you had readability, signal, strength and tone. Well, I'm back out in the garden now, and I'm going to show you how I take it down. Because there's the vertical for that I was working on, 20 metres. So let's just put the camera down and we'll go and bring the antenna down. Very quick and easy to do. So there's one of my radials there, so that'll simply come off. Walk over here. That's the next radial down. These are all tuned for the band I'm on. And I simply drop the antenna down, drop the mast down rather. That's one down. That's two down. So that's the driven element now down, disconnected rather. And then it's a matter of lifting that off. There's a simple insert, you can see it there, which slides into the top of the mast to secure the vertical section, which is just basically a fiberglass fishing rod really. It's a SOTA pole. And then the actual I'm not going to take it off now because I want to keep it on for using it later on, but all I've done is taped the radiating element, which is a piece of 2¼ mil electric cable, just taped it at intervals to the pole. And so what I want to do when I want to change bands, I'm going to have to simply untape this, put on the next resonant length for the next band I want to work on, and then put it back up again. So band hopping probably takes about, I reckon, with a bit of training, maybe 5 minutes to change bands. And you've got a dedicated mono band antenna for whatever band you want to work on. No need for an ATU, no losses, fed direct with low loss coax. It's good to go. Let's put it back up again. It's a little bit fiddly, I suppose, but I don't mind that. It's cheap, dead cheap. And then we'll connect the antenna back up again. got a device called a Nano VNA, and it's very easy. It took me literally 10 minutes to build this antenna from scratch. Dead easy. Right, I'll see you on the next video.